Hello, dreamers, and welcome to the first official episode of Delusions of Grandeur. Thank you. I'm your host, Corner Love, and I hope that all is well out there today. We are in, 7 days in, a weekend uh, of the new year, and boy, things are already starting out crazy, ain't it? But here, we're going to try to get away from that and talk more about what is, going on in our personal life because we can get caught up in politics and things like that, and that can make us more anxious and things like that. So we're going to take our mind off that and focus on what makes us tick. So grab a seat, pillow, snack, and let's chat. Hmm. Now, let's talk about why, first of all, why I decided to name my podcast Delusions of Grandeur. I feel like a lot of words that we use, you have a negative connotation to that, and you can take that context out, and that's what I'm going to do with Delusions of Grandeur. When you think about Delusions of Grandeur, the complete definition is, let's look at my notes. The complete definition is fixed false belief that one possesses superior abilities, wealth, power, or identity. Example, inflated self worth, supernatural beliefs, thinking that you have a divine mission. I myself do think that all of us have a divine mission, and the things that they're talking about, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with thinking that you're the best? You know, humbly so. Of course, you got to be humble with it, but what's wrong with thinking that you're the best? We all have delusions of grandeur. When you think of delusions of grandeur, also, that comes with different illnesses, or you know things like bipolar disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and like brain injuries and things of that nature. Substance abuse also, and we can start right there because I have, if you don't know or have not been following me, you should be. Our platforms will be in the description below. But I am 2 years clean of substance abuse of Percocet. And I say that without shame because we all have a past. And I'll dive deeper into that as, you know, the episodes go on. But today, with us talking about the uh the reason why I named my podcast what I did, which is Delusions of Grandeur. These things are connected with that name. So I thought that it was perfect because I want to talk about mental health. And like I said in my first little episode that I put out, especially in black women. And I know that sometimes people get offended when people say things like especially in black, but I'm a black woman, and anyone that is knows what goes on in the world with us and how we're treated sometimes in the medical field. I am so incredibly grateful to have a great doctor, nurse, and therapist who does a wonderful job at making sure I'm okay. I have had some, and I know this kind of off topic, but I've had some bad experiences with going into the doctor's office and them making me feel like there's nothing they can do for me. And I'm watching them as they take care of a patient that is opposite race of me just fine. I've had to get out of my hospital bed with an IV in, hurting, because I do have a chronic illness called interstitial cystitis, which attacks my bladder, which is how I ended up taking the Percocet. in the first place. But like I said, we'll talk about that a little more later on. But yes, I've had to advocate for myself a lot of times when it has come to, uh, me being sick, having to go to the hospital and blatantly see the the difference in the treatment. Like, it is hard to sit back and deal with things like that. And if you have not ever been there, please don't speak on it. Don't tell us that we're tripping. Don't tell us that we're wrong. I've experienced it, and it's very much real, and it's got to change. I know, and I don't want to even bring the topic up because I don't know her name, and I wish I had wrote it down, but I know there's a black nurse that was very dedicated to making sure that, and I put her out, I'm gonna put her name on the screen, but was very dedicated to making sure that black women were taken care of in childbirth. Like, it's getting to the point where we have to make sure that the people that are treating us won't mistreat us. And that is hard to decipher when people can mask up and pretend. So we have to vet for ourselves more in the medical field than people know. And I am always going to advocate for black women, not only because I'm a black woman, I'm raising four black women. My mom's a black woman. I have black sisters. I have, even with my nephews, like, no, it's time for things to change. So I know I went off, but yes, I mean, I'm going to share my experiences and what I went through. People need to know more about this. I think it's not talked about enough, and that's why, it just continues to happen. It's got to stop. This is the new year, and I'm going to use my voice to make sure that whatever is going on, like, people have a voice and are heard. And if you do have a story that you would like me to share, because I'm going to have different segments where I share stories, mental health stories of people that may write me, and then I'll have my email uh, down below as well. But if you want to inbox me or whatever, and that way I can tell your story on an episode, and I just want to be able for everybody to have a voice. This is why I'm doing this. God has really sat me down. He sat me down for a reason. I literally just fixed my car maybe 2 weeks ago. The car had been sitting. I had to get an alternator for it. Long story short, I think it was the day before New Year. On the 31st, we got a knock at the door saying that somebody had tried to steal my car, uh, jumped the ignition out, broke the window, and yeah, and because I needed brakes on the car, they ended up running into the apartment building. God is good all the time. And I say that because, yes, I was a little, no, frustrated because I had just fixed my car, but all I could think about was what He may have been saving me, what the Lord may have been saving me from, and that's very much real. So I say that to say we're going to be talking about a lot, and I want to get into everything. If anything taboo, anything that needs to be talked about, therapy, all of the things, we're gonna do it here, and we're gonna do it with respect. I would not tolerate anyone coming into my comments or saying anything disrespectful on. Yeah, yeah. I want my dreamers to dream big. I want you to have a little delusion of grandeur. It doesn't hurt. It pushes you to want more. And I am going to take that negative context out of that and make it positive, as I've always done my whole life.